Hey, I'm Colin Harrington. On behalf of Liquid Force, we'd just like to say congratulations on owning your own wake surf setup. Now that you have one, let's put this thing to use. That's why I'm here, to help you with a few fundamentals that are going to teach you how to progress your wake surfing all the way from beginner to intermediate through advanced, no matter if you're a beginner board, surf style board, or a skim style board. First things first, weight the boat. Now, there's tons of boats out there that are all going to need different weight configurations throughout the boat. So I highly recommend taking the time, go out one day, and just mess with the weight. Most boats, you're going to take most of the weight and put it in the rear on the side that you're wake surfing on. Now, some boats require a little bit of weight in the front, some boats require you to put a little weight on the other side to even it out a little more. You have to just mess with it, really play around with your boat, and it's going to make your life a lot easier in the long run if you spend one day working on it and getting the wake the best you can get it. Now that you've got your boat weighted up, it's time to set your rope length to the proper length. Most people, I guarantee, simply tie the rope on, throw it in, and that's where it is. But take the time to actually get the rope to the right length. This will help you with progressing what I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. So basically, I personally like to have the rope right where the lip is curling, just right in front of that. So when you're holding on, you can kind of do some turns and start learning how to feel the board out and be right in that sweet spot. You don't want to be too far back where it's all whitewater, and you don't want to be too close to the boat. So set it right where the lip starts to turn into a little curl, and that's where I personally like it. First step to becoming an amazing wake surfer is getting up. So get your board, get the rope, jump in the water, and get ready to learn how to get up. Now for this, I recommend a very floaty vest. A CGA vest will work great for this. So take the board, turn it perpendicular to the boat. Next step, put your heels on the board. Put your heels nearest to the rail that's closest to you. Now with this floaty vest you have on, you can lay in the water, relax, and just kind of sit back. Now when you're ready, you're just going to give a thumbs up, and the boat's going to go. As you're getting up, try and stay just to the outside of the wake, whether it's on the left side or the right side. This way you can go out and avoid the wake and then drift back into it and get comfortable with it. If you try and go up the center, then you're going to have to drop all the way down this giant wake, and I guarantee for your first time you're going to fall. So come outside and then slowly drift into it, and then we're ready to start learning how to wake surf. Now that you're up and cruising on your wake surfer, you want to get control of this thing. Now in order to do that, most control comes from the waist down in your legs. Now if you put weight on your front foot, you're going to shoot towards the boat, as demonstrated here. Weight on your back foot, you're going to drop back. Now you want to hold on to the rope still, because when you drop back, you don't want to shoot out the back of the wave. So hold on to the rope, it's going to stop you, and you can really play around with that, really mess around with it for a while and really get the feel of it. Now once you get that, you want to start finding your sweet spot in the wake so you can go without the rope. So right in the middle, you know, not as much weight on the front, not as much weight on the back. Just kind of find that happy medium so you're cruising with a little bit of slack in the rope. Now once you're ready and you're feeling comfortable and you don't need the rope, take the rope, you know, throw it in the boat, or throw it to the side. And now you're up, you're cruising, and you're wake surfing. So now that you're going up and down the wake, finding your little sweet spot, now it's time to really start getting control of this thing, going up and down the wake, doing some little snap turns and stuff. So don't be afraid, get that rope back, really start coming out and really coming up and doing snaps off the top of the wake. Now, to do a little snap off the top, you want to edge out, and when you're doing a bottom turn, you're pretty evenly weighted on your feet, and then as you're coming up the wake, come real light on your front foot. So most weight on your back foot, not much weight at all on your front. Let that go over the top, let the nose get over top of the wake, and then kick your back foot and really push weight on that. And that's going to really, boom, just kick out the tail a little bit and then even up and come back down off the wake. Just mess around with this for a while, have fun with it, try it with the rope for a bit, and then when you're ready, toss the rope and do the same thing. Just really start driving those bottom turns, getting up on top of the wake. Just get the feel for this thing. It's all about progression, having fun. Pumping is a very important aspect of wake surfing. Now, this basically gives you the drive and speed to do all your tricks off the lip and get in the air and do 360s and all kinds of tricks like that. Now, to pump, you're basically gonna come, boom, up the wake, check behind me, you're gonna come up the wake, and you're gonna really generate speed pushing down, away from the wake. And now, drive back into the wake, come light on your front foot, come up high on the wake, and then push down again. And then, the more you do that, the more speed and drive you're gonna get. So that's called pumping. It's a very tricky art to learn at first, but once you get it, that is gonna be the key to success in progressing in wake surfing. Now that you're cruising on your wake surfer, you're going forward, you're going back, you're doing little turns off the top, you're really getting control of this thing. Now it's really starting to fine tune your sweet spots. Now there's a sweet spot in the middle of the wake that I told you about earlier, and then there's also a sweet spot in the back of the wake. Now, when you're doing airs and starting to advance a bit and really driving for 360s and doing airs, the more speed you can get into the wake, the higher you're gonna go. So you wanna drop back as far as you can just before it sends you out the back. And right at that kind of spot where you're almost about to go, you can really pump forward and drive. You can see in the video, you get back to that spot, and then boom, you get a couple good pumps in, and then boom, you can blast airs, you can do 360s, and all your more intermediate to advanced tricks. Now the second sweet spot is right in that center wake where you're really blasting off that lip. So you want to go from one sweet spot in the back, pump as fast as you can, boom, straight to the next sweet spot. So take your time, play around with that, find your sweet spots. Now a 360 is a trick that most people are going to want to learn first. And to be honest with you, it's really not that hard. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to drop back to your back sweet spot, and you get one or two good pumps in, as many as you can. And as you're coming up and making a good bottom turn, come up towards the top of the lip, lift that nose up, get real light on your front foot. And as you're getting light on your front foot, you're gonna dig your backhand into the wake and push your back foot out at the same time. And this is gonna kick it loose. Now, as you do this, very important is your weight shift on your legs. Now normally you're riding with a little more weight on your back foot, a little less on your front. And as you get backwards, you've gotta really quickly change your weight so that you're riding switch. So that basically, as you're backwards, you now have weight on your back foot and less on your front foot, and then your fin's gonna catch as you're spinning around, and that weight's gonna shift right back to the other way. So watch slowly on these demos, and really watch the leg work he does here, switching from front to back and where his weight's going. This is the key to a lot of tricks. Doing airs on the wake surfer opens up a lot of doors to a lot of new tricks. This really adds a lot of fun stuff to your repertoire of wake surf tricks. Now, very easy. What you're gonna do, you're gonna drift back to your back sweet spot. Then, you're gonna get as much drive as possible. I usually like to get 2 or 3 good pumps in to that front sweet spot where you're gonna, boom, boot off the wake. So as you're driving, you're getting your pump, and your last pump, really get high on the wake, come down, make a big bottom turn, and then as you come up, stay real light on your front foot as it's coming off the top of the wake, and let it really ride up there almost till the whole board's off the wake. Now, once it's way to that high point, then you can start putting weight onto your front foot. Because when you do that, your back foot's gonna come up to you and it's gonna even out above the lip. If you try and push too early with your front foot, you're not gonna get in the air. So remember, up the lip, weight, even out your feet, and then you're gonna land with both feet very evenly displaced for weight. Now, once you land, be careful, because a lot of times you wanna drop towards the back of the wave, so you're gonna have to get on your front just a little bit. But land even first, then put a little weight in your front, make sure you're back in the wave, drop back to your sweet spot, and boom, go for your next trick. Now, no matter if you're on a beginner board, skim style board, surf style board, the fundamentals that I've just taught you really translate to all types of wake surfers. Now we're going to end this with a little montage of wake surfing from the Liquid Force crew to really show you the possibilities that you can do on a wake surfer. Now remember, pay close attention to the leg work that goes on in this video, because that's the key to success for many tricks. So grab a boat, grab some friends, go wake surf, and have fun.